Now let me tell you some more truth. In the late 70s, as a child near 13 years old, for my summer job, my parents suggested I go berry picking, as is common for many Indo-Canadians in the 70s. Each morning I was picked up in a van by a distant relative of mine, his name is Grenake, who would drive everyone to and from the farm in the lower mainland Vancouver near Abbotsford, BC. One day as I was picking blueberries, a good task for me to learn, just entering puberty, my parents probably thought. You see, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberry, rim technology. I get to pick the berries. Understand? Back to the story now. A fellow young berry picker, a few years older than I, kept looking at a new girl picker who was picking maybe 30 feet in front of us on the other side, who was maybe a year or two older than me, and suggested to me that she was good looking. He made some more suggestive comments about her. I agreed that she was good looking. Then later on, during a lunch break, he asked me to join him in the van. I agreed to join him, and I followed him into the rear of the van, which had one stool for sitting. I sat on the stool just behind the driver's seat on the stool. He moved into the driver's seat. I noticed as we'd entered from the rear of the van that a boy about my age was sitting in the passenger seat. The boy in the driver's seat, who had asked me to join him, said to me, "So what do you think about the girl who was picking berries?" I repeated to him that she was nice. Immediately, without warning, the boy sitting in the passenger side seat leaped at me while I was sitting on the stool behind the driver's side seat. I fell backwards, and the boy began hitting me numerous times. I covered up. The older boy screamed to the adults for help. The boy was pulled off and ran. The adults asked for explanations. The boy who had hit me claimed that I had degraded his sister. I did not know the girl was his sister. I told the adults that I was just replying to the older boy, and it was the older boy that liked the girl, as he had made many comments to me about her. The older boy denied saying anything about the girl. The adults screamed at me and asked that I be taken off the farm as I was filthy. I was driven back home by Grenake. Grenake told me that I should not be making comments about any girl. I told him the truth and told him all I said is she is nice. He said Indo-Canadians do not approve of boys that speak about girls, especially girls' brothers. Grenake advised my parents that I would not be permitted to work that summer on that farm as my punishment. Hence I lost a job for the summer, as well as I was taught by the Indo-Canadians of Vancouver that speaking to and about girls is a no-no and can result in physical punishment. Every few years, similar confusing signals were provided to me every time I got close to a woman. The guilty parties in the future would not be just Indo-Canadians, but all the various groups, as all Canadians involved themselves in exchange for the benefits. I now know that it was to be the start of the torturing, the offering of a carrot, and then withdrawing the carrot. Mental torture combined with occasional threats and physical assaults. This is what you, dear Canadians, dear Indo-Canadians, dear Homo sapiens, did to me for 40 plus years, so that you could benefit, so Canada could benefit. The Indo-Canadians with the Mongoloid genes torture me for their benefit and involving everyone. As for the Canadian flag that I now know was created to mix the genes to allocate the benefits to the various groups of the world, you may spit on your Canadian flag, because in my mind, that is all that it's worth. There's no end to your evil, dear slaves, as I can see that all you have done in 40 plus years is increase the torturing children and your own torturing, further creating fictions so far from the truth. Now I know the signs. I know that the event of the 70s, as well as all events of this nature in my life, as well as the stealing of my assets, properties, and businesses, were orchestrations, acts of terrorism against the one in me, the one seeking the truth. You are guilty of being terrorists, dear slaves. Do note that I have many similar stories to tell if I need to hammer in my point. I will finish by saying my first wife that I was married for a week would not utter a word to me unless I spoke first. I tested this once before we got married. I decided to see how long it would take her to say something if I did not speak to her first. It was 10 minutes later, and then I just decided to speak to her as she hadn't started speaking yet, and we were still driving. She was involved in many orchestrations against me that were controlled by the third person. So everyone to some extent was involved in my mental torture, everyone doing their part for Canada, for their group. Oh, how deep the evil lies. Dear slaves, you acquiesced, you chose evil as the way to live your lives. You were provided by the secret societies an opportunity to decide the path for your salvation, for your freedom, and you chose evil. Because you wanted the rewards that bribes offered along the way. The rewards, what do I mean, you may ask? Well, naturally is the rewards of assets and the rewards of the simple pleasures of life, but more importantly in terms of secret society language, pre-planned and etched by the Indo-European language, it can mean reward. R-E-W-A-R-D, or backwards D-R-A-W-E-R, meaning draw her. Draw her towards you, or you get to draw the picture what you want her to be, that which you have always wanted. Of course, your commercial world always wants to be involved in issuing the rewards. Draw her, the rewards, so you have so much this way. You get so much rewards. Let me explain. Your retailers have created rewards, reward cards, the rewards points cards offered by your retailers where you get points for your purchases. If you get enough points, you get rewards. D-R-A-W-E-R, draw her. You get to draw her towards you by the assistance of the commercial world, dear slaves. Oh, how deep the evil lies, my dear slaves. Dear women, dear ladies, do you like the fact that the commercial world that you have chosen to take such a large part in, where you want to participate in so much, climb the corporate ladder, is involved in summing the value of a woman as the number of points on a rewards card? But you enjoy that. You enjoy that cat and mouse game. It gives you a sense of worth, the worth of a woman. So how many points is that on a rewards card? I assume the worth of a woman is a few points on a rewards card, isn't it? Maybe, dear ladies of the corporate world, you can issue a me ward card, a D-R-A-W-H-I-M card, draw him card. It appears you want equal rights, don't you? Please do not let these sexual deviants be restricted to the men only, dear women leaders. Where's that me ward card? So you can cash in some points and then be eligible for that man of your dreams. My dear slaves, you have tortured me for a lifetime as I'm near 50 years old. But I was chosen not by Canadians, but by the Americans. The Canadians instead chose to enslave, torture, and take the benefits for themselves. The chosen one was chosen to pass some messages to the slaves of the world. The messages include that you are guilty, that you are terrorists, that you are insane and out of control. And there will be a lot more to say in the future. How deep the evil lies, the insanity of it all. I must end, dear slaves, by doing what you may think is unthinkable, not possible. On this day, March 23rd, 2012, in Vancouver, BC, Canada, I am demanding for the resignations of the Queen of England, Elizabeth II. I'm asking and demanding for the resignation of Pope Benedict XVI. I'm asking and demanding for the resignation of all the leaders of the nations of this world. I'm asking and demanding that the gold keys to each nation and each global institution be passed over to the Homo sapien that will be free, so that the free Homo sapiens may take over the reins. I have spoken, I have read, it is done, it is done. I have spoken, I have read, it is done, it is done. Dear slaves, dear Homo sapiens, dear masters, dear puppeteers, I am referred to as Harj Gill. I am a man. I am a tortured child. I am the witness. I am my one. I am the chosen one. I am. Good day to all. Please find your one.